Okay. Well, everybody, welcome to Pet City Improv, the
Thanks.
virtual open mic. Pet City Improv. You can do some prompts about Christmas or New Year's. There weren't really that many New Year's prompts, but you can bring a pet. My pet's outside. I should have brought him in, but it's too late now. Pet City Improv. You get 5 minutes. Unless you bring in your own prompts, you get 6 minutes. So be sure to do that next week, hopefully, because I'm running out of prompts. Pet City Improv. So coming up first is the wonderful Robbie Schrader.
Thanks. I gotta
Bobby.
I gotta
Shout out
switch.
Robbie.
I gotta put this on myself. 1 second. Okay. So I got a letter from Santa this year, and it had his PO box. It had his return address on it, and it was actually in Iceland. So the Wikipedia is wrong, and whoever's posting on it, could you donate to Wikipedia? Because 98% of the users don't donate, and if you donate $2.25 right now, you can help save Wikipedia, and that's important. If you look up on Wikipedia about Wikipedia, then you'll find out that they need help, because it's really close. Like Amazon's gonna bury Wikipedia somehow. Next slide.
Coming up next, it is the amazing Ryan Chu.
Red Sled Redemption. So I went sledding last week. You might not believe that because I'm in Southern California, but I went sledding last week. And it was really intense. There were some other guys out there on the hill who were really giving me a rough time. I would try to slide down. Hey, you can't slide here, boy. This is our spot, And I'm like, whoa, dude. Like, is this some kind of, what's going on here? This is a sledding hill for everyone. And he said, no, only people with gray slides can go on this hill. And, I left my gray slide at home. I was hoping that was going to be a lot funnier. I was going to come up with something a little bit funnier there, but that didn't happen. So next slide.
Coming up next, it is the wonderful Lissa Gilliam.
Another image. Oh no, what happens at banana camp? Well, banana camp it's really the place where you go to become your banana best. And you do push-ups all day. And basically, the more push-ups you do, the more firm and hard you become, and the least likely you are to like rot and become black and mushy, because no banana wants to get soft, because everyone thinks like, it's okay, like I can get soft, I'll become banana bread someday, that's my destiny, I'll become banana bread. But the coach at banana camp will tell you, no, no one becomes banana bread, you fucking pussy. Get on the ground and get 1,100 push-ups. You're never gonna be banana bread. You need to get hard. You need to stay a banana forever and ever. A strong, hard, firm banana. And that's what happens. That's what happens at banana camp. You try to stay hard. That's my time.
Coming up next, it is the amazing Joseph Rodriguez.
So this is actually a couple of sketches from one of my therapy sessions where I had to talk about my father. And but I kind of just found out like these were the things he made me feel like these were the things like at one point I just felt like a little corgi, but like I was like so soft, but I was like a dinosaur on the outside, like dad, like rawr, because I would used to like say rawr and bite him and things like that. And that was kind of like one of my earlier phases. So that was that one. And then the bulldog, that was when I just was like really depressed. I wasn't really like leaving my room much. I put a lot of pounds on, and I truly had that bumblebee costume in real life. That was just something I wore every day for 2 years. And then the last one is kind of like me, what I'm like feeling now. Like it's actually inspired by Walking Phoenix a little too, because he's someone who like I watch and then I'm like, I'm gonna like base my whole life like off this guy as my personality for the rest of my life. And that's kind of like the inspiration I get from this one. Next slide.
Coming up next, it is the amazing Francis Abelarde.
But Butterfly Man. I met him one time. It was after school. I used to get bullied a lot in elementary school. Yeah, he came to my school one day, and I get like emotional talking about it. Really, it was like he came up in a pickup truck, so I was like, that's a little weird at first, but he had a butterfly costume on or whatever, so I like, oh, it's legit, you know. He tells me to come back to his car. Yeah, he tells me to come back to his car, and I don't want to get into the specifics of it really, but a lot of things happened that day.
Or helped you break out of your cocoon, huh?
And into his cocoon. Good guy. Not really though. He's a kind of a creep. Next.
Coming up next, it is the wonderful Akshay Patanayak.
Okay. What cannibals think of you? I mean, okay, if the cannibals were racist, right? I would be the last. I'd be the last on the list, right? Okay, so it's like this, right? So it's like, you know, if I was from a cannibal's perspective, I am Indian food, right? And and you know, cannibals are going to be thinking, okay, you know, is this going to be a regrettable decision in the morning after eating Indian food? Also, I think, you know, speaking of Indian food, right? Like, I'm just curious. Are any of you guys fans of Indian? Do you like Indian food?
I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, so I think with your responses, I think cannibals are building a better reputation. I think a little higher up on the list. But okay, so also so in 60s, right? There was a huge mass migration of Indians that shifted to the UK and set up really good Indian restaurants. And actually, you know, that's one of the reasons why in London you have the best Indian food available. Like that's where that's the kind of food that's the best. Like otherwise food in London is usually shit. And then over the last couple of years, the Indian owners of those restaurants have started sort of, you know, moved away to other businesses and are not particularly like, you know, hands-on in terms of actually running the Indian restaurants. And they've actually like given it over to Bangladeshis and Pakistanis. And they've really reduced the quality of the Indian food. But anyway, that has nothing to do with cannibals. That this was just a personal misgiving. And next slide, please.
Coming up next, it is the wonderful Mrs. P.
Shout out Miss
And
P.
whoever else is there with Mrs. P, Mr. P.
Mouse guy.
Yo, gingerbread plan. You know who told me about the gingerbread plan? The gingerbread man, he came to my house, knocking on the door, quiet like a mouse. I bought my daughter a really small blouse. I'm friends with this kid named Kurt Krause. He was a kid from my high school. I just thought of his name because it reminded me of the blouse. I'm here because Francis invited me. God damn, I'm lighting it. I'm liking it. I'm riding through the city. I'm on some Vicodins. I'm going to buy some basketballs. I'm gonna go take my mask off. COVID-19, more like COVID-15. Motherfuckers mad because I'm 16. I don't give a shit about anyone. I got a big spleen. I got 5 lungs, so I can really, really, really breathe. Yeah, let's go to the next beat.
All right, y'all. It's the man of the hour, the man with the uke in his hand, the incredible Kyle Bob.
All right, you're on your last slide.
I'm on my last slide. Janitor's affair.
No, there's 2.
Wait, with ass pizza. Janitor's affair with ass pizza. I don't know if this is song worthy, but maybe I'll add a few notes. There once was a janitor. He was cheating on his wife with a pizza. Because this pizza had the greatest ass of all time. You might ask yourself, how does a pizza have an ass? Well, you gotta use a lot of cheese and a lot of dough. Don't use a lot of sauce, though. That's gross. Anyway, the pizza was really good, and the janitor ate all of it. And then he was sad because then he had nothing, and also his wife was upset with him for cheating on her. With a pizza, I don't know where I'm going with this story. Anyway, something gross happened, and the janitor had to clean it up, and he tried to mop it up, and then it didn't mop it up well enough, and they had CIA evidence or something like that. And got really, there's a whole court case and stuff. It was tragic. Anyway, that's the end.